When you walk into a place, you can feel if it has a soul. And I won't name names, but you just know that there's just no soul. You know, the food's good, service is good, but it's just not, it's missing that, and it's the love. You know, I think it really comes down to somebody trying to make a dollar rather than to create an experience. My name is Luis Navarro from The Socialist. So the name The Socialist goes back to my sister. You know, she's an activist and pretty much a socialist. And that's what she wanted to name the restaurant. So we were having a meeting at Lola's and we're sitting with a really good friend, Logan Crow. He runs a movie house in Santa Ana called The Freedom. I'm like, hey, you know, we're thinking about this name, but I mean, we're gonna turn a lot of people off if we call it The Socialist. He goes, well then why don't we just call it The Social List? Are you on it? You know, are you on that social list? And I was like, genius. We'll just break it up. That way I don't hurt my sister's feelings. You know, it's still The Social List. You know, now it's broken up so we're not hurting all these other people's feelings. And that's kind of what we ran with. You know, my sister and I grew up in the kitchen. My dad, he's been an executive chef for 46 years. You know, my mother cleaned homes for a living, you know, knows a way where she could make, you know, good money fast, be home in time to pick us up from school, make dinner. But sometimes, you know, she'd get an opportunity to clean our house on a weekend, on a Saturday. So my dad would be responsible to take us to work. And he'd put us to work. After we'd work, you know, we could go watch Saturday morning cartoons, which was the Smurfs, and we knew we were gonna have to work for a couple hours, but then the good stuff was coming. Interestingly enough, I remember I vowed, I said, I'm never going to work in the food industry. And I went to college, got my degree in international business, and it was my mom's dream to do a restaurant. And when my mom finally went through with it, you know, she was overwhelmed. So my sister, Brenda, myself, we were able to sustain it and figure out and learn as we were going. You know, we knew the front of the house stuff, but it was the back of the house stuff that we didn't really know. How to manage employees, cooks, how to hire, you know, all these things that, you know, you don't think about, I guess, when you're gonna open a place. Shortly after that, though, you know, we had success. The neighborhood embraced us. My mom was diagnosed with cancer. You know, she fights it for 2.5 years, ultimately passes in 2010. And Brenda and I really took on the restaurant at that point. As she was sick, I had already kind of started diving in, you know, working every position I could work. I really learned, I became a master of the craft. And then I started going on culinary trips, you know, with other chefs. You know, we go with celebrity chefs touring Mexico. And that's really when the kitchen and the creation of the food kind of embraced me, when I was like, wow, this is fun. Like I could create something out of nothing and share it with somebody and make them happy. The creation of The Socialist is kind of interesting. We were looking to grow Lola's, and my sister had moved to downtown LA. We kind of saw that initial growth that was happening in the arts district, and it was still super premature, but you could already see like it was kind of coming. So we were trying to be proactive. So my sister goes, hey, I've been working on this concept of my travels through Europe, and I want to open up a European tavern. And she goes, why don't we take on a space and we'll split space in half? Oh, it's a great idea. We looked. The landlords could kind of feel that something was coming, so they didn't want to give like long leases. So anyways, we were looking down there for a long time, and we just couldn't really find that spot. And this location here sat vacant pretty much all of 2013. And I would literally stare at it from Lola's. And I was like, God, I wonder what's gonna come in here. You know, I wonder if they're gonna sharing the vision that we're all sharing. It's like Portfolio Coffee House, all the vintage shop, you know, Meow, I think just turned 30. And we hear that it was gonna be a nightclub. And we're like, a nightclub? Like, there's no way. So I call the landlord and he's like, you know, would you be interested? And I was like, well, you know, maybe I'll put Lola's on the back burner and I'll partner with my sister and we'll create this cool European tavern that she wants to do. So as we were listening, you know, learning, we heard, you know, what the neighborhood wanted, and they wanted a place where you could kind of come in here every day and have something different. And that's kind of what we created. It's almost like we're the neighborhood kitchen. You know, even today, you know, I look around and you'll see a family, you know, you'll see the grandparents and the kids and enjoying a meal. And you kind of stop and look at it and say, wow, okay, that's why we're doing this. You know, that's why we're doing food.